Welcome back to the KickNPost YouTube channel and podcast. Hopefully, we're finally on the podcast with your hosts, Amal Thompson and Matt Avila. Welcome back to Teal and Steel, episode 4. We're going to go back-to-back post with this one because week 3 we had some technical difficulties. So you'll probably see us twice. It'll be a little bit confusing, but let's hop right into things with the Pittsburgh Steelers playing the Buffalo Bills. Kenny Pickett's first official start for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They went into Buffalo. I'm correct on that, right? Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Was a bit of a welcome to the NFL moment for Kenny. How do you see it?
We looked really bad. And after I saw the game in my head, I was like, when I record, my response was going to be, I don't have shit to say. Like, I was that disappointed.
Really?
But there's actually one really important thing that I want to talk about, and that's Kenny Pickett. And I think he looked actually impressive. I think if you didn't watch the game, you may think he didn't have a great game. But if you actually watched it, he did a pretty good job. He got the receivers involved. He slung it around. He had some good reads. He's a rookie. He had some bad reads, some obvious things that even on when they were watching it, the announcers were even kind of pointing it out a couple times. But he gave chances to Pickens and Deontay. Deontay didn't have a crazy game. George Pickens had a pretty good game. But Deontay got targeted 13 times. He tried giving him the ball multiple times. He had this close of a touchdown catch. So, as a Steelers fan, obviously it sucks to see us get absolutely destroyed like the way we did. It was really hard to watch, but I watched the whole thing because I told myself that I wanted to see Kenny Pickett's first start. Because if this man is our franchise quarterback, I can tell myself I watched this first time play. So I watched it. He looked pretty solid. As a Steelers fan, I have something to look forward to going forward. I'm excited to see what he's able to do. If he's able to throw 321 yards, something like that, against the Buffalo Bills. Even though it was the Buffalo Bills secondary that was kind of hurt, it wasn't at its fullest capabilities. But at the same time, he did play impressive. I'm happy with what I saw. Matt Canada got to go. I've been saying that.
This is the second week in a row now, huh?
He got to go. Like I mean, for real. I love my Steelers, and I love how we like to build people up, and we like to try to help them grow. And I think that's awesome. But I think Canada has shown enough. The fact that he had 321 yards, but no tutty, only 3 points. No, that's just not acceptable. And also, I kind of want to challenge Mike Tomlin a little bit. I love Mike Tomlin. You know, he's my favorite coach ever.
Yeah.
And but he made a few decisions in this game that I wasn't really fond of. I mean, we were down like 30 points, and he was like, "Yeah, let's kick a field goal." I'm not about it. I mean,
do you think he was protecting the rookie?
I don't see why. I mean, we were driving down the field, and we got down to the area where it was like 4th and 4. I'm like, come on now, I get we might be protecting the rookie, but I think this is a great opportunity. We're getting looked. Let's just see what he got. This is a live action practice right here on television. So I would love to see him just give him the ball and just see what happens. I mean, there's only one way we can get back in that game. That's touchdowns. So Mike Tomlin, come on now. I mean, I know how he is sometimes. He can be very passive at times. Matt Canada got to go. Kenny Pickett looks solid. Happy with what I saw. Defense, a lot of question marks. We got absolutely destroyed. I mean, this last week I think I mentioned the defense, but it was more because the offense wasn't moving. The offense was moving this time. So defense, we got to do something about that. Nico Fitzpatrick had a great start to the season. He made a good play on Gabe Davis, but Gabe Davis he outdid him. But I want to see more from him. I want to see more from other guys. So yeah. But I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one that had a bad loss. A bad loss. Go ahead and talk about it.
Before I do that, boy, what was it, 98-yard touchdown? Then after that, 60-yard touchdown was the highest yardage receiver on the week, which I saw somebody put a bet for him to lead the league in receiving this week. $400, won $20K on it. Who thinks to bet that?
I don't know.
Who thinks to bet that in a week where there's a healthy Stephon Diggs and all of that? But shouts out to that person. But you're right. Let's hop into it. Your team scored 3 points. My team scored 6. We lost 13-6 to the Houston Texans. I was talking to Chris about it before the game. I never feel confident still with this team betting on the Jags as a favorite. We're a pretty solid favorite. I think we're 7-point favorites this week. Mm-hmm. The offense has a lot to still learn. We're still struggling in the red zone. We're still trying to figure out things in general as a team on the offensive side of the ball. The defense has been playing out of their mind still. I think we're one of 5 defenses that have over 9 turnovers in the league. It's like Buffalo, Baltimore, the Bucks.
Probably the Cowboys.
No, not the Cowboys. We have more turnovers than the Cowboys. It's the Philly. So it's Philly, Buffalo, Bucks, Baltimore, and then us, right? And all those other teams have way more established offenses than we do. That's the big difference between those teams who are seen as Super Bowl contenders and our team, who I have us winning the AFC South, but too much inconsistency. I think we need to work a lot on our offense. I feel like Doug Peterson's calling solid plays. I need more out of Trevor. This is year 2. He's still showing flashes of greatness and then making huge mistakes. He had a huge turnover on the goal line where we could have gotten 3 points, been up 9-6. Turnover right on the goal line. I think it was at the 2-yard line. Can't have that. Need points. This was the first week Travis Etienne really... I've been saying it the last 3 weeks that he looks good on the field, but he's not getting the touches. We keep putting the touches in James Robinson's hands. His average yard per carry isn't that high. It's a little bit, fluffed with like big runs like the 57-yard run against the Chargers. But this week they finally kind of like shifted. Travis got more of the touches in the backfield, was averaging like 7 yards a carry. I think had 3 catches for like 40 yards. So finally showing the weapon that he can be. Hopefully that switches. Better. I think this might actually be the last week to buy low on Travis Etienne. I think this next week against Indianapolis, he's really going to show out. So if I'm a Travis Etienne owner, I'm looking to start him.
Is this also the last week we should sell high on James Robinson?
Yeah, because I think you're starting to see the shift. They're starting to see the difference in talent, right? Which I love James Rob. The story is amazing. But like I said, he looks like he's running in slow motion to me when I'm watching it on the screen.
When I watch, I don't say that. I don't see that, but I do see more explosive.
Yeah.
So I do agree.
You see Travis Etienne being a little bit explosive?
I see Travis being a little bit more explosive than James Robinson, and so I do agree with you. This might be your last time to able to sell high on James Robinson and then buy low with Travis. So if you're planning on doing that, I would do that soon.
Like this week. Because we still haven't seen a touchdown from Travis. As soon as that boosts his scoring, then it's going to be like wheels up. If you see a running back like Breece Hall, the Breece Hall-Michael Carter thing is what I'll refer back to. They started shifting how much snap percentages each running back got. Now Breece is pretty much unpurchasable.
Last week was really the last time you could really try to get Breece.
In any type of league, dynasty or redraft.
Yeah.
So I feel like you're running into a situation like that now with Travis Etienne. Another thing with those teams I mentioned with the 9 turnovers, each of those teams have solidified number 1 wide receivers and even a solid 2, right? The Bucks got Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, both very solid receiving options for Brady. You got the Bills, Stephon Diggs and Gabe, right? Or Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen's just, with him being multidimensional, you don't even really need a second, but you have Gabe.
You do have.
You look at Baltimore, they have Mark Andrews. It's obviously the receiving core is kind of shoddy everywhere else, but you have Mark Andrews and then
Bateman has had his moments.
Bateman's had his moments.
Duvernay's been some kind of.
He's usable.
They've been using him a lot. So
Duvernay would fit into our wide receiver core more than like these other teams, I would say, right? I'd say Baltimore has the cheat code in Lamar, Mark Andrews, and then Bateman's had his moments. Philly, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. They all have weapons at their disposal. I think in Jacksonville, love Christian Kirk, still think he's going to have a great year. But he is not on the level of any of the number 1 wide receivers I just listed. Not even Mark Andrews, right? So we're seeing a little bit of that dividends too. We can't really challenge people with that solidified number 1. Marvin Jones had 7 catches for like 114 this week. He's a solid 2, but he's not giving you that every week.
Yeah.
Right? So there's too much inconsistency in the receiving core.
I think you guys just need that defined number
that guy.
1. That guy. So Christian Kirk is nice, and he's a nice person to have right now. And if you guys don't have a great year, let's just say y'all don't. You can go in the draft this year, and you guys have a first-round pick still?
Yeah, we haven't really traded it.
And I'd say just take a receiver, unless you think there's another position you'd like to.
I like the receiving options that are coming out this year. We spoke last week, which is going to end up being this week, about A.T. Perry a little bit. I feel like, based on where he's getting priced, I would like adding somebody with that height. And,
size, yeah.
Yeah, that size, just to make an easy target for Trevor in situations where things get a little bit rough, especially in the red zone. If you look how, not Baltimore, if you look how the Bucks use Mike Evans, he needs somebody like that in the red zone.
And A.T. Perry would be perfect for something like that.
For a role like that.
And he's a homer here, so.
Yeah, I was about to say, we're A.T. Perry fanboys over here, but I would love to add him to our receiving core. We might have to go out and overpay in free agency, like we did for Christian Kirk, but we need to get an official wide receiver 1 on the roster that would help Trevor's progression as a quarterback. That would help our offensive progression as a quarterback. Sitting at 2-3 now, I still think we have the tools and have the defense to win this AFC South.
Y'all do.
Tennessee's come out of nowhere. Ever since I said they wouldn't win a game again, they're 3-2 now. Derrick Henry's looking like Derrick Henry. Houston again hangs around in games, but I still don't think they have enough to really like eclipse us.
Unless they start clicking on that offensive side, I don't.
But still,
and
then the Colts, they had Carson Wentz last year, who threw 7 picks all year. Where at this year, Matt Ryan in 5 games is throwing 7 picks. So they got to figure out stuff over there.
Which I do think they eventually will, and I think I said that last week.
Yeah,
they eventually will, but we'll see how soon they can do that. Because if it's too late,
they run into us again this weekend. If we sweep them, they're really far behind in the division. So I think they need to come out, put their best foot forward with an unhealthy. Exactly. If JT's not healthy and they have to come out and really show out against us, I don't think they could beat us with a Deion Jackson and then Michael Pittman solo.
And Nyheim Hines might be ready to go by then.
By the concussion?
Because he had a concussion.
He has a clear protocol, but that's one of the things about Tua, though. The way that situation's gone down, I feel like they've been a lot more careful with the concussion protocol. If you look
at taking a little longer as well.
Cameron Brate wasn't cleared for last week. Hunter Renfrow, it took a little bit longer to clear him as well. They're spending a lot of time making sure you get cleared just because.
It used to be, you had a concussion on Sunday, and you'd be ready to go by next week on Sunday. I think I've seen a couple people just miss another game. So they go out on Sunday, miss a game, and come back the week after that ready to go.
Nobody wants to fall into that boat with Miami right now. There's a lot of bad press on that. So.
Which, rightfully so. If I was managing a team, I'd be like, nah, let's just keep this as safe as possible.
We got Indy this week. I feel like it's a possible win, but if we're favored, I'm still not looking to put any money on the Jags. I'll never bet on the Jags as a favorite. As of now, the team's too inconsistent. Do you know who Pittsburgh has this week?
I don't.
Take a check real quick. I want to see. I feel like it should be somebody in the
division. I want to say it's the Bucks.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I want to say it's
the Buccaneers?
I want to say it's them. Because we have a tough stretch. We have such a difficult... Yeah, the Bucks.
So if you have Najee, unfortunately, this is one situation where you took him early.
I'd probably be sitting
bench him, please.
I'd probably be sitting Najee.
This is one of the situations where I don't care where you took him.
As of right now, I'd say for all Steelers players, I'd be benching them.
I'm okay with the receivers a little bit. The secondary's improved a little bit in Tampa, but I still am not comfortable.
I don't know, that pass rush with Kenny Pickett.
Yeah.
Kenny Pickett looked good, so if you have Deontay and George Pickens, maybe. Yeah. Pat Frymuth, I believe, got hurt. I think he might have had a concussion. So we'll see.
He probably won't play.
So we'll see if he plays or not. As how everything else has been handled, he might not. But Najee is definitely a sit for me, unless he had a 1-yard touchdown end zone kind of thing.
That's his thing, and I don't think you guys are going to move the ball well enough against the Bucks to really give him that.
If we were smart enough, we'd use him a lot more in the passing game. We haven't used him in the passing game as much as we did last year.
So that's unfortunate because it's kind of like the curse of the young QB. There's few situations where you'll have a young quarterback where they pass to the running back. It's a very elderly QB type of style of play.
Because even Mitch didn't do that.
Mitch doesn't pass to the QB. He trusts his legs.
To the running back.
Kenny Pickett, to the running back. Yeah, Kenny Pickett's same. He'll trust his legs or trust a deep throw. If you look at all these situations, the quarterbacks that pass to the running back are usually aging and not this type of athletes that these other guys are. Right? Yeah. Lamar is never going to pass to the running back. Josh Allen's never going to pass to the running back. Brady, you see Fournette's usage. Tons of passes to the running back. Aaron Rodgers, he's forced to, but he'll target the running back. Right? If you're a younger QB, most times you're going to trust your arm or your legs and not really go for the safe play. It's just kind of like how things play out in offenses. But yeah, Najee's a pretty safe bench. I want to talk about our bet from last week. We did a parlay bet. I said I had a good feeling about Cincy. I had a good feeling about the Jets. I had a good feeling about the Cowboys.
Yep.
I went 2 or 3.
You did.
I think it's pretty solid.
Good job.
Yeah.
Even though I originally wanted just to do the Ravens versus the Bengals, and I was right about that.
You were.
But you wanted to do this parlay thing.
Yeah.
And you're right
you
about
said that you weren't feeling any of the picks, so I had to bring you out.
But you're right. You did win it. It does feel good to win every once in a while for you. So.
Hey, don't let me bring up the fantasy matchup in this.
I'll tell him right now. Me and him played in fantasy. He whooped me by 100 points.
Let's get it out of the way.
Now you can't hold that against me.
Let's get it out of the way.
You can't hold it against me.
I'll give you the Jets one because Teddy got hurt early. He got concussed. So they had to play Skylar Thompson. Do you know who he played for?
I have no idea who he is. Skylar Thompson. Hey.
Exactly. That's my boy, my cousin. They kind of did him in. I think he played for Kansas State last year. But yeah, rough go at it. Plus Tyreek went down. It was just a mess for the Dolphins. Breece Hall broke out. Like, it is what it is. The Cowboys-Rams game is exactly what I expected. I think Michael Parsons ended up getting hurt a little bit, but did come back. But they chewed up that offensive line and they bullied Matthew Stafford. Too much injuries on the Rams offensive line.
If I'm a Rams fan, concern levels are high now. Like,
you switched on that one?
I am switching a little bit. They're high because they look really, really bad. They can't run the ball. Offensive line looks trash. Matthew Stafford only knows how to throw to Cooper Kupp.
I said that last week.
You did say that. And I
said it.
And I'm starting to get on that boat. Like, which, don't get me wrong.
He racist, right?
No. Don't get me wrong. I think it's more because Allen Robinson and other guys aren't getting open. My opinion. But nonetheless, the only person I see relevant on the receiving corps right now is Cooper Kupp. And that's worrisome. If you are a Rams fan, tough times right now. Because I don't see y'all changing anything anytime soon.
It's like, what can they do, though?
Cam Akers look bad. Bad. Like, I was watching it, and they even pointed out a couple times some of the way he got the handoff to Cam Akers. Yeah. He went up, open gap to the left for the cutback, doesn't go there. Misses it a couple times. Darrell Henderson looks like he's the better back, but I think they're trying to prove a point with Cam Akers. I don't know. But
they just spent the draft capital on him, so maybe that's what it is.
Maybe it is. Because I feel like when Darrell Henderson, he had a couple good games this year. He was doing okay. But even then, he's still not crazy, so they can't run the ball. Their defense seems like a shell of themselves. Jalen Ramsey's having a bad year so far. Aaron Donald's getting triple teams left and right. They miss Von Miller.
They for sure miss Von Miller.
They're getting no pressure. Aaron Donald's – the fact that I see 3 guys on them, and all 3 of the other guys are just getting one-on-ones and none of them getting through, it's worrisome. And like I said, J-Ram isn't doing that hot.
If you look at that division, though, they have room. The only person in that division that could really challenge right now, based on record, the Niners.
Yeah.
Which they've been able to keep their head above water, and their schedule's a little bit. I'd say
they look pretty solid though. That's not a downplay.
Their coaching is.
They do look solid. Jimmy G's been playing good enough.
He does what he does. Manages the game. He limits the turnovers. He gets the ball into his playmakers' hands, and they keep rolling. You know,
their defense looks really impressive.
With Trent Williams going down, I thought the run game would suffer. They're still able to run the ball pretty well. So, they stick to the fundamentals. The Rams just don't have it. I don't see it. The offense looks out of sorts, like you said. They have Cooper Kupp and then Cooper Kupp Mini and Ben Skoranek, and then they got Tyler Higbee.
Which you were hating on him. I'm not a fan by no means, but I saw that man line up on fullback.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't hating on him. I was hating on the fact that they went out and created.
You said he was an NPC.
Yeah, I said they created another Cooper Kupp so that people could get confused and not start Cooper Kupp. That's the reason he exists, and I'm standing by that statement. He wears number 18. It looks very much like 10 with the way their jersey designs are. He's the same build almost, the same height. There's no way he was like a real person before Cooper Kupp got signed to the Rams. He's a clone. LA has a lot of money. They made a clone of Cooper Kupp and named him Ben Skoranek.
They need to just go.
And that's
OBJ.
why he's on the team.
They need to be like OBJ, whatever you want.
They need to get OBJ back, but OBJ, you saw him kind of talking that smack on Twitter because they have the gambling odds for which team he'll sign with. And I think it had like the Bills at like plus 900, which would be a lot of money. And he's like, just asking for a friend, but is it possible for me to bet on this? Like jokingly, which makes me think one of the teams with the higher odds at the bottom is who he's leaning towards. Because I think the Rams was like really high up there. Actually, the Giants were really like that high odds to the payout.
He's not going to the Giants.
He's already showed up in the stadium. Like he's already gone there for a visit.
Daniel Jones, what do you think he's going to change? He hated playing with Baker.
I know. He hated playing the back end years with Eli, too. I don't know, man. I'm just telling you what he was on.
I don't think he's going to New York. If he goes to New York, he's just, what are you doing?
It's a homecoming type
he's in a situation where he can compete. He can pick a team that is a competitor. He won a ring, but he can go get another one. He can literally go to KC. I don't know why he doesn't play for cheap at KC. Patrick Mahomes, why would you not want to do that? Is it because it's in Kansas City, maybe? Maybe he wants to be in a
big market,
a big city? Because,
yeah.
I mean...
He almost ended up in Green Bay, but I think they didn't offer him enough money last year. That's still a team that needs a wide receiver one. But I don't think he puts them over the top. I think they're a solid team.
I still don't think that OBJ is going to be that crazy when he gets back, but I think he'll just be enough for like LA or for Kansas City. I think he'll be good enough.
For Buffalo.
Buffalo,
Imagine
they don't need him.
He's a wide receiver 3. Imagine OBJ's your
That
wide
would hurt
receiver
Gabe
3.
Davis.
It would, but we're not talking fantasy. We're talking chips.
I'm not just talking about fantasy. I'm also talking about just Gabe Davis in general.
I know, but
his production levels, everything will go down.
I think Gabe Davis would be okay with a ring because OBJ's not.
So you think OBJ? I mean, the Buffalo's already
loaded. Yeah,
loaded. I don't think OBJ changes it too much for them. I think he has a bigger impact in KC or Green Bay.
KC needs him.
LA.
Juju hasn't been it. Miko Hardman hasn't been it.
None of them really are.
They're trotting Justin Watson out there. He hasn't really been it.
Sky Moore really hasn't been that guy.
He hasn't.
They like to use him in like these screen situations, but other than that,
yeah, it's really been Travis Kelce and Mahomes. Like I kind of projected it to be, and they could use an OBJ, but again, I don't think Kansas City's the market for him. And I know if he goes there, he's not going to get glorified as much as like Patrick Mahomes. He likes the attention. OBJ strikes me as a guy who likes to get the.
Oh, he does, and he's always been like that. But
I don't know.
I feel like if it was me, obviously me and him are completely different people. My main target would be KC, or go back to LA. Like
he might be waiting on the Browns to see how well they do, because he did have
he's tripping.
him with Deshaun.
I don't think he'd do that.
I don't think that's.
He hated Cleveland. Man, I know he hated more Baker than Cleveland.
Tampa.
See, people have thrown Tampa out there. Why?
The GOAT.
Julio Jones.
Julio Jones has played 2 games.
But still, like they have plenty of people. They
go
don't somewhere where people need him.
I don't think he's worried about that at this point in his career. That's the problem.
If you're saying KC or Tampa, who are you picking?
KC.
Okay, Tampa or LA?
LA.
Okay. Tampa or Green Bay? That one's more legit.
Green Bay.
See? Why would you want to go to Green Bay? Not Green Bay. Why would you go to Tampa?
It's not for me, though. It's for him. Tampa, he has to play with Brady, who Brady tried to get him in New England when stuff was going south with him and the Giants. Like, this isn't the first time that Brady's tried to link with him. So, I don't know.
I mean, we'll see. He's definitely going to be... It's going to be
high commodity. I think he's going to wait till about... He probably wait till about Christmas because he has to get right, see how his knee feels. And then I think he's going to just sign with whoever at this point.
So when is he going to be good to go? Is he good to go mostly when playoffs hit?
I'm thinking, yeah. He'll be good to go at the back end of this year. So, yeah, probably like week 15, week 16 is when he'd be able to really test that knee out.
Honestly, whoever is probably really contending for a Super Bowl, that's where he's playing.
I'm going to be honest. He wouldn't have to learn the playbook that much. Just go back to the Rams. I think they're still going to make the playoffs. Just go and see if y'all can repeat. I know he's a huge friend of Vaughn's, and that's how him and Vaughn ended up on the Rams. Buffalo's right there, and you won't have to learn that much. They'll scheme something in there for him. And like you said, he's not super needed. And Buffalo looks like they're loading up for their opportunity. I don't know if you saw the Christian McCaffrey talks, but they inquired about Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, you were talking to me about that.
From the Panthers.
Hopefully Carolina doesn't do that.
Carolina's on a fire sale mission, though. I think they're shopping DJ Moore. I think they're shopping CMC, obviously. They're shopping like a couple of defensive players.
Which, if DJ Moore is on the market, same teams that we brought up,
City.
KC, which he's not going to be as needy about which way he wants to go. So KC can legitimately, and he's younger too.
There were talks about acquiring DJ Moore too.
Yeah, I think that'd be a smart move for KC. I think Patrick Mahomes would love him. Anybody that has a dynasty with
DJ
him,
Moore,
they're gonna love him.
You have a couple options. You could sell high, or you could see how this thing plays out. Me personally, I'm gonna see how it plays out kind of guy. I want to see at least 4 games of them together, maybe a whole year of them together, and then make my decision. Unfortunately, the Bears are in talks about acquiring DJ Moore. I was talking to somebody about it earlier, and they're like, "Why would the Bears want him? They don't throw the ball." You get DJ Moore, you're gonna start throwing the ball.
Talking about me?
No,
because we had that same conversation.
Really? No, it was actually somebody else over text. It was Robert Burrell. If you're checking it out, shouts out to Robert. He was upset. He was like, "That's a waste of DJ Moore's talent.
It is.
They don't even throw the ball." And I'm like, "Well, you go get DJ Moore because you plan to throw the ball. Like, you see that you're deficient in that area. You see that your quarterback does have the potential to win you games. You're a one-dimensional offense. Add a true wide receiver 1. Have Darnell Mooney play wide receiver 2 like he's probably more built or equipped to do, right? He got open a lot with Allen Robinson on the field because Allen Robinson was getting the coverages. And then he had a great year last year in that secondary, but also ending up scoring as a wide receiver one. I think that would benefit him to have somebody like DJ Moore there.
It's just the only thing. I mean, I'm thinking about it from like a fantasy perspective. From a real life perspective, obviously having someone like DJ Moore on your team is beneficial. I mean, especially with a young quarterback. Even though I'm not a big Justin Fields fan and believer, we'll see what he does. We'll see what happens. I think them running the ball as much as they have been has been a clear sign of Chicago saying that he is not ready to go. He's not really our guy right now. I mean, obviously right now he is, but going forward, there's some question marks over there. But if they do acquire something like that, that does kind of make me take a step back and think, well, maybe Justin Fields is showing them something, or they're just getting ready for this next draft, depending on what they have to give up to get DJ Moore. So,
Which brings us into the Thursday night price picks. They have Justin Fields at 162.5 passing yards against the Washington secondary. How do you feel about that? He's only eclipsed that mark twice.
You're going to hate me for this, but I mean, I wouldn't bet on anything that game.
I know. But I've been cooking on Thursday nights.
It's not a game that I've really been...
I'm being honest. I've been cooking on Thursday nights, so I can't not bet it. Like, I feel like all my wins this year have come on Thursday nights. So I got to. I like it. I don't think Washington secondary is that crazy. I think their line isn't that crazy either with Chase Young hurt. So I feel like even though we had that snoozer over game last Thursday, I feel like this Thursday will be a sneaky good game to watch.
Maybe. I mean, I might tune in. I forget what time I work, so I'm probably going to be home and be able to watch it, but I'm not really...
You're not excited. You're not like, I got to rush home to get it. I know, but I got to put some money down on it because I've been cooking on Thursday. I like that one. They haven't had many other lines drop, but one line I'm interested in seeing is Curtis Samuel receptions. I feel like that's a hot line. It might have gone up to like 5 or 6. If it's anything under that, if it's at 4, I'm hammering that line as well. In terms of Cole Kmet, I think they have him at 27.5 receiving yards. It's been hit or miss for him lately, but if I expect 162.5 to go over, I could see Cole Kmet getting 30.
You got to pick a receiver.
I feel like I could see him getting over 30. I have to see how the Commanders have defended the tight end position.
We can also take a look at maybe Mooney's, see where they got him. If they have him like in the 20s.
They didn't have his lineup yet, but yeah, his is never going to be in the 20s. His minimum is 60, and I don't feel confident.
If it's 60, I wouldn't be interested in it.
Nah.
Maybe receptions if he's at like 3 or 4, maybe. But
yeah, and even then I'm scared, even though he's supposed to be a wide receiver one.
That's the thing. That's the reason why I wouldn't bet money on it. There's not one guy on the Chicago Bears team that I'm like, I feel comfortable.
That's the one. Yeah.
And the same thing really applies on the other side in Washington. They got so many guys out there. They don't have so many, but they have Terry McLaurin. I don't know if Jahan Dotson's going to be ready to go or not.
It's a short week, so maybe not.
Not sure. Then you got Curtis Samuel. We'll see what happens, but I'm not
Antonio Gibson, who hasn't really been able to get on.
Looks like he's already out. So
special teams.
Brian Robinson's already right in. So Which, by the way, I mean, kind of off topic, but Brian Robinson, if he's on waivers, go pick him up.
It's about time. If you're in a league that's like active though.
Yeah.
If
you're in a league that people know what they're doing, he's a guy that people have already stashed in the IR. That's what I did. I have him in a couple leagues. IR.
Which was worth it. So
now he's a starting running back. So anybody that was an owner,
you missed your Gibson sell period too, which was like 1 week. Sorry, we had somebody in the Dynasty League buy Gibson for a first round pick. He's kicking himself right now.
Really?
Cade bought a
I think he has him as his nickname as like whoops.
Yeah, he realized he made a mistake on that one. But I don't know. Still an athlete. We'll see how they use him. But Curtis Samuel's turned into that utility knife guy, and then Brian Robson's going to be the hammer. So it is what it is. Coming into this week, I want to see a few things out of the Jags. I want to see a solid offense. We know what they can do on defense. The last time we played the Colts, put up 24 points, shut them out. I don't expect to shut them out this time, but I'm hoping for at least some consistency on offense. Moving the ball, Travis Etienne finally being the RB1 for the team. More receptions to the running back, which I just talked about young quarterbacks struggling to pass to the running back. Trevor is one of those guys too, but he also doesn't run well, so I don't know what he's doing other than turning over the ball when he's not throwing to the running back.
Humbling.
Exactly. Evan Ingram, I love his usage. I hope we could get him more involved. Tight end's usually a young quarterback's friend. Start utilizing that guy more. Christian Kirk blew up the first 3 weeks. I was talking my smack. I said, I told y'all, last 2 weeks he's gone back to Arizona Cardinals type of Christian Kirk production. Very inconsistent. I need him to be him again.
He needs to be that guy.
Because if he's him again, the offense moves a lot better.
Yep.
I project us winning, but if we're favorites and not putting any money on it, you guys got the Buccaneers. If you by some act of God pull this off, then Kenny Pickett will be anointed.
Straight L.
Yeah.
I mean, what the things I'm looking for, though, is more creative offensive scheming.
Yeah.
Be a little more aggressive. I mean, we've been really passive. One thing I've been noticing a lot recently, and this is the reason why I say Matt Canada got to go. First down, run the ball, 1 or 2 yards. Second down, run the ball, 1 or 2 yards. Now we're looking at 3rd and 8, 3rd and 7. I need to stop seeing that. We really succeeded in throwing the ball on first down, giving Kenny Pickett a couple options, a quick pass, like we did with Big Ben like a couple years ago when he released the ball. It was the quickest in the NFL, quick slants and all that kind of stuff. So that's what I want to see. Throw the ball on first down. Let's get Najee going in the passing game. Have some more screens for him. Give him out in space a little bit more. I need him to start connecting with George Pickens and Deontay a little bit more. George Pickens doesn't seem to be as bad because George Pickens is open all the time.
Yeah.
But Deontay, I need them to put in some extra work. I need them to start connecting a little more. They're a little off, it seems like. So a little bit more of a connection there. Defense has to show up a little bit more. I don't think it'll be a good game, but I want to see some positive things in the right direction.
Yeah, as long as they're moving the ball and Kenny Pickett's making proper decisions, I think that'll be something to take
That's a
away
win.
from it.
To me, that's a win.
That's a W. And you guys have your first round pick, so it's not the worst to have a down season as the Steelers. I know you guys are used to staying 500. We projected them to not do that this year on the channel.
Unfortunately, yeah.
I'm not trying to rub it in, but we knew it was going to be struggles with how the offensive line was built.
And I'm hoping that a change comes soon, and next year we can use that first round pick on a defensive player. So
you want a defensive?
Not even, but an offensive lineman.
I was going to say I thought you want a lineman.
An offensive lineman.
But yeah, I'm down. I'm down to see how things pan out for them this Sunday. I don't have any parlays for y'all this week because I have not seen much lines. The only thing I will kind of stick with is the price picks. I'm going Justin Fields over 162.5. I'm not checking his rushing yardage. I feel like it's not really a gimme. They're definitely going to have a spy on him.
Indy has a good defense. That's something to think about.
Who?
Indy.
For us? I was talking about Justin Fields against the Commanders on Thursday.
Oh, you're right. I'm sure.
Yeah, I was like,
I'm talking about a different game.
Yeah, Indy does have a good defense, but we're going to smack them. I'm joking. Let me chill out. I think it'll be a competitive game. But
we should. What's our bet going to be this week?
We should do something.
Because I was thinking maybe Indy and Jacksonville because I think I got Indy.
Really? I'm alright with my boys regardless. But I feel like we should get.
So let's see. So I don't care about Washington versus Chicago. I mean, I care a little bit just to see how a few people work or how their usage and all that. But as a game, I don't really care too much. Sunday night is the Cowboys versus the Eagles.
Ooh, I'm riding the Eagles on that one.
Okay, I like the Eagles too.
Yeah.
Monday, Broncos versus LA. I have to go LA on that one.
That's wild. You know what?
They have. This is the good one. What?
No, you go ahead. Give me the good
Don't
one.
tell me you're going to say Broncos.
I am.
Okay, maybe we'll do that one.
Rams.
Maybe we'll do that one. But this one is the kicker. This should have been
prime time.
Should have been prime time. You know what game I'm talking about?
No.
KC versus Buffalo.
What is that? A 1 o'clock?
That's a 3:25 game.
Okay. It's probably going to be America's the Fox game of the week, but still,
yes,
they should have flexed that to Monday night, and they should have moved. They don't flex
Philly on Monday.
They don't flex games this early in the season, but I don't want to see the Denver Broncos on primetime anymore. I think we should end on this note. Hey, Denver, they gave you guys all these primetime games, so they expected you to be good. Russ was supposed to be cooking. We made jokes about getting Russ a cookbook. At this point, just get Russ out of the kitchen. This man cannot cook. This man is struggling. I think this man needs to go to culinary school. This man is lighting everything on fire. This man is burning water. He's the worst chef I've ever seen. No more Russ cook. And I'm tired of watching him on prime time. What is it? We're week 5. He's been on prime time 4 times this year. He's probably eclipsed 20 points in prime time once. Maybe not even.
He has been on it way too much.
And I get it. This team was supposed to be good. This offense is supposed to be clicking. It's bad. Flex him out of the prime time.
That's right.
Yeah, no, good. Sit down. No more writing. Right?
And honestly, they should just change it. Right now. They should just change that.
Yeah, they should be like, oh, crap.
Let's just flip it.
I didn't realize the game of the decade in the playoffs last year is playing at 325 rematch.
Yeah, that sounds
And
crazy.
then we have the Broncos
versus
the struggling Rams. We do. Versus the struggling Rams as Monday night. That's what we decided to keep. We couldn't flex
it's
it.
The Rams. The Chargers.
It's the Chargers?
The Chargers.
Oh, then I even feel better about going Broncos Let's Ride.
Really?
Yeah. But I would prefer to put 5 on that Kansas-Buffalo game.
Well, it depends on who you're going for.
Because you're going Buffalo? Yeah, me too.
Where is it at? It's at KC, though.
We might just need to chill out and do the Jacksonville Indy one.
I mean, I'm down to go Chargers over Broncos.
I know, but I don't know.
I mean, okay, I'll go.
How about
I do like the Colts over the Jags. So
I'll go Jags. I'm gonna ride with my boys.
I
I'm
think the
0-1
Colts-
against you right now with the Jags. But I'm gonna go my boys again against Indianapolis.
I think the Colts kind of figured out a little bit this game.
I don't think
they'll figure out a little bit more than the Jags figured.
You know what's a hot bet? Over a half interception against the Jags. Matt Ryan, he's gonna throw a pick again. He threw 3 against us the last game.
Probably.
He's gonna throw 1. I feel like that's a lock. But yeah, flex that game, please, NFL. Get us Kansas City and Buffalo in primetime. I don't want to watch
honestly,
Russ
the more
anymore.
I'm looking at it, the more it's pissing me off. Why are we? That was literally the best game ever.
That was the best game in the week, and we put it at 325.
God, last year that was such an iconic game.
Okay, where's my boy at? Put him up one more time.
Oh,
4
why
TDs.
is that at 325?
4 TDs.
But we have the Broncos on primetime again.
4 of them things in his first playoff game.
Oh,
Maybe second, but 4 TDs. 4 of them things.
I'm getting pissed off just thinking about it.
Cooking the defense, cooking DBs. UCF on UCF crime. He cooked Mike Hughes for that game tying touchdown, or no, it was a leading touchdown that Kansas City drove right down the field and tied it up to take it to OT. But come on, bro. I don't want to watch Russ throw limp passes to whatever the backup tight end name is, and Melvin Gordon double cup the ball because he doesn't want to fumble against a Chargers team that has Hurt Ribs Herbert and no Keenan Allen.
Well, maybe. Is he officially out?
I think he's officially out already. Like, come on, bro. Flex that game. But close out. Justin Fields, over 162.5. Check out Curtis Samuel receptions if those drop. Check out, I said another receptions that I liked.
Cole Kmet.
Cole Kmet, 27.5. I think I'm going to go the over on that one. Jags win this week, hopefully, or Matt takes 5 off of me again. We'll see y'all on the next episode of Teal and Steel, episode 5. But to close out episode 4, that'll be it. See y'all on the next one.
Peace.